All right, hello everyone,
Hi.
and welcome to our second episode of the Strat Corner Tech and Series podcast. This episode we will be focusing on Steve Fox, a character that you will see all too frequently if you play T6. He's kind of a shitty character to play against because he can do some rough shit, and he is very much overplayed. But we'll be taking a look at that, and whether you play him or play against him, hopefully we'll give you some good nuggets of truth that you can take with you. So before we start, do you have anything you want to throw out there, Dan?
My host, Scott. No, I have nothing. We're just introducing the names here real quick.
Just the names. Oh, yeah. And my co-host, Dan Janakazama, the man with the plan. Ooh, he's so tasty. If anyone out there played Caliber, you know that name. All right, well then let's get
three of you that did.
Let's get started with this Steve nonsense then. Okay, so if you're not familiar with how we do this podcast, I'll give you a short little summary, something you can just write down on a...
And this is the only little thing we do.
Yeah, this is the only little thing we do. It's just a little, like, quick one-sentence thing that you can take with you, put it in your pocket if you need it, and just bust out whenever. And then we'll go into more detail about the character's strengths and weaknesses and just overall strategy. And then after that, we'll just do some general discussion stuff. So let's start off with the summary. So for Steve, he has no safe non-counter hit launcher, which is pretty important for a lot of characters. His launchers that he does have, they're pretty slow, which as a result tends to make him a pretty mediocre punisher. And he has no really good long-range low. So with that, let's just jump into the conversation then. So for the no safe non-counter hit launcher, that's probably his biggest weakness. If I had to pick one, I don't know if you agree with that at all, Dan, but...
I agree that is a pretty big deal, but I think not being able to punish long range kind of hurts him, and his punish game in general.
Oh, for sure, yeah. His punishing game, not as good as, like, some of the other top-tier characters, like a Law, Nina, Fang, pretty stupid punishing characters. But I don't know, like, T6, it hasn't... Tekken wasn't so much, like, all about launch in the past, but as we've slowly progressed, it seems like in order to really, really compete, you have to have some really, really rough launchers, and he doesn't really have any. Because he has, a forward 2, which I think is, like, God, it's ridiculously slow. It's like, actually I have the frames right here, let me check it. 19, I mean, that's silly. That just sucks. So, I mean, but to your point, with the punishing, I mean, unless they...
It's just because his game is so, like a Turtle Steve or whatever. I mean, Turtles often need to, be able to punish really well and everything. Mm-hmm. He's still obviously a busted-up character. He's really, really good. That's just, we're nitpicking here. We're picking our little things.
Yeah, which if you're going to play him or you're going to play against him, you need to nitpick sometimes. So that's we're absolutely going to keep doing that. So so with the punishing thing, if you're looking to play Steve, essentially, unless your opponent throws out a move that gives them just ridiculous, like, block stun, if blocked, you're not going to launch them. And it's
Are you doing something over there?
Me?
Yeah, you're making a lot of noise.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I actually was, like, moving. There's a microphone, like, right next to where the mouse pad is, so it might be picking up some stuff. So if you're listening out there, I apologize for that. I'll try to stop moving the mouse as much as possible. Was I fuzzy, or was it all right? Like, could you still make it out?
Sounds like it's all better now. I don't know. It was like an elephant in an inner tube or something. He's just squirming around. It's like,
yeah, because I'm on a laptop right now, so I'm sure that, like, running it across the touchpad probably was making it a little goofy. But anyway, back to Steve. Now that we got the sound. So okay, so you have his punishing issue. So you're gonna have to help me out a little bit on this. I know at 10 frames he has 112, his version of 112. I don't. Does he even, other than his 2, does he even have a 12 frame move? That's like
His 12 frame Punisher is 2-1, and that is sick. I mean, it's not like one of those knockdown Punishers like Lars 2-4 or Law 3-4, but it gives him so many frames because he can go into that new bullshit stance. And I think it's supposed to be like plus 14, but it doesn't give free hits. It just gives the next best thing. You can't fuck around or you're getting hit.
I'm curious now. I wanted to see what the frames are for 2-1. I guess I didn't realize it was. I always tend to get hit by 1-1-2-1.
Yeah.
Plus 7. Wow, that's pretty rough.
And I think it's plus 14 if he goes into stance or something like that.
That's what it says. Yep, plus 14 if he goes into stance. That's pretty sick. So yeah, no, 2-1 definitely sexy at 14, and then at 14 is when he starts getting Sonic Fang all over your face. Pretty bad. Because
what's funny is as many like tone downs as they gave him, everyone being able to punish Sonic Fang,
yeah.
him not being able to launch on all the time. This is still like he's top tier, and this is probably the worst he's ever been.
Yeah, and you would know. I mean, you played him when he first came onto the scene, so yeah, he's taken some hits, but he's still super good. And it's a downgrade from 5.0 Steve, but he's still really, really good. Don't even though, like you said, we're nitpicking, but for all those listeners out there, I mean, don't think that he's just a fucking pushover or anything.
He can do his jabs into mix-ups now, rather than shit you can see.
So we have the punishing then. That's standing punishing, and then his wall standing punishing. So essentially, his wall standing game comes down to wall standing 1-2, and so many characters would kill for that move.
Wall standing 1-2 is probably one of the best, if not the best. 11 frame Punisher?
Yeah, yeah, it's 11.
From crouch?
Yep, absolutely. Boom,
yeah.
11 frames.
Everyone else gets maybe, wall standing 4 or axe kicks if you even have a good one, but his wall standing 1-2 does solid damage, leaves him at plus 1 trillion. You just don't fuck around. You're crouching.
Yeah, that's one thing that is really, really irritating as far as playing against Steve, because if he hits you with a wall standing 1-2, you're taking 36 damage right off the bat from an 11 frame Punisher, which is in its own right really stupid. And then he gets plus 3, and you're in crouch, which sucks, because that's just really bad. He just has so many options.
When you're in crouch, your options are so limited.
Yeah. Even if you have a character that has a lot of crouch options, it doesn't matter, because typically, one sidestep just eliminates 90% of what you were about to do. Mm-hmm. So, and with Steve, he has his sways, which are still really dirty and really sexy. Yeah. So, he still has the problem, of launching. But he does have that new launcher from crouch. It's obviously not fast, but he can still at least do that if
he has an option for the
really slow,
most big lows, yeah.
The big.
And he can also do upward too if he's close enough. I think that might be slightly faster.
Yeah, and it's one kind of. Since his punishing game doesn't consist of that much, we can just kind of move right into the next topic, because with wall standing 1-2, that's a ton of damage for an 11 frame move, and
that's just one of his advantages.
Yeah, and that's just one of his advantages. But to kind of propel us into the next topic, his just overall damage is retarded, because all of it, even though he has no regular launching.
He's a speedy character.
Yeah, he's a really speedy character, but when he hits you, it's typically on counter hit. So you're taking a ton of damage every time he hits you. And, back one is still one of the dumbest moves in the game.
Steve can be top tier without a Magic 4 because he has a back one. It's probably a frame slower, but it tracks.
Yeah. And I don't know if we said it on the Law podcast, but Magic 4s have forever been known as shield. Well, his version, his shield is back one.
And now that he has the follow-up hits, you're even looking for the other hits afterwards. It's just more options. You don't need to be abusing it or anything, but he has options after it too that you want to worry about.
Yeah, it's really rough. I mean, he's easily getting, if he hits you with a counter hit, I mean, he's easily getting into the 70s, 80s. And then if he gets you to the wall, well, I mean, we were just talking about wall standing 1-2. I mean, that's his bound move at the wall, and it is fucking dirty. I mean, it is so dirty. He gets so much damage at the wall.
Do it out of the sways,
Yeah.
etc.
And even to add to that, I mean, his wall carry is really good too because he still has the 4-2-1 garbage.
The sway, the duck forward 1
Yeah.
or whatever. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
But back 1, that's the start of another one of his strengths is tracking.
Yes.
Steve is probably the best tracker in the game.
Yeah.
Always has been, probably always will be.
Yeah, he's one of the few characters in the game where when I play them, right off the bat before the match even starts, I tell myself don't even try to sidestep. It's just not worth it. And unless you're sidestepping at range for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Bait out his forward 4-2. That's usually what Steve's like to track with from range.
Yeah.
And they made that more punishable. But I mean, in general, I mean, he's got the down forward 2. He's got the back 1. He's got just even his jabs tracked pretty well because he's got a move that looks like back 1 in it.
Yeah, so it's right. I mean, you don't have, if you're playing with Steve, you really don't have to worry about people stepping on you, unless they're just trying to space you out and keep you at like
Back forward
2 to 3. Yeah, like range 2 to 3. I mean, you really don't have to worry about tracking, and that's what makes him so dangerous, though. Is I mean, because you have walls and there's only a limit to how much you can space somebody. It's it's not like the tag days where you could just completely space somebody out the entire match. I mean, eventually your back is gonna hit a wall and he's gonna be right there waiting for it. It sucks, and he's I think he's the only character with a wall push, if I'm not mistaken. Is he the only one?
Yep.
Yeah, and that wall push is dirty.
Actually, because you, I don't know, mentioned something just a little while ago. Another weakness that you could say for Steve is that he doesn't have the, with the long range low or whatever. Mm-hmm. You pretty much don't have to worry about ducking him. He's as mid strong as it gets, anyways. But you don't have to worry about ducking him at all unless he's, right up on you.
Yeah, range 0, absolutely. But I'm glad you mentioned that because. His low, even though it's a range 0 low, down back 3-2 is ridiculously good.
It is really good.
Really
just eat the follow-up spin low because he'll bound you if you get out.
Yep.
The one thing I could tell you about down back 3 though is it doesn't crush highs, so.
Yes, you can beat it out. Yeah, it's possible to beat it out for sure. But I mean, it's still really nasty. And if you're in I'm trying to remember exactly what I think he can juggle it right off the wall. Like if it hits you on the wall, he can juggle it into another down back 2 or down back 3-2.
if that's all he gets, even.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think it's down back 3-2 into the wall, and then you do down back 3-2 again, and depending on your position at that point, it can wall splat you. So it's really, really stupid. Because the down back 3 just picks up just like a normal juggle. If you're close enough. So that's just really stupid. And but luckily, if you're playing against Steve, he doesn't really have a whole lot of lows that are really all that scary.
His down 2. I mean, you can eat that all day. Don't worry too much.
Down 1 is a little better, but I mean the damage really doesn't scare. At least me, it doesn't scare me enough to duck it. So because it's just tick damage, and I really don't care about it. So I mean, it's no different than just the generic lows we were talking about when we were talking law. I mean it's very, if you're playing Steve, it's still something you should do. Give him something else to think about. Get in their fucking head. Start being annoying. But if you're playing against him, just don't let it rattle you. I mean it's a real simple poke. You're taking like 10 damage maybe. It's nothing to really get worried about. And it can crush highs, but oh well. I mean you'll
be more focused on breaking those grabs than.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. Okay, his grab Oki. So you probably know more about his grab Oki than I do. So
his grab Oki on his both punches and his 2 throw, those are both really good. 1 throw, you don't have to worry about. He's going to chug you across the screen. He has solid throw Oki. He's good.
Yeah, it's no law, but
no,
you don't have to worry about it.
It's no law. His grabs are even pretty easy to break, except for that new one out of peekaboo
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. The one where he just keeps punching you while he rolls around you. Yeah.
You're still going to end up getting hit with grabs, and he has two different options that'll still give him good wake-ups. So he's a solid character in my book for that.
I will say this about him, at least over a lot of other characters, Law specifically. There's not really, I mean, Law does have some pickup stuff that he can do, but Steve's is way easier. Way easier to do. Because his down forward 1 picks up way stupid. I mean, he has the forward 2-1 stuff, and he has other pickup options too. Which is, to me, when I get hit on the ground, like, that's my biggest concern. It's like, I pretty much have to sit here and take a ground hit, because otherwise I'm going to get bounded, or he's just going to relaunch me.
Steve's overall game, I mean, it's all so fast or whatever. He can constantly just throw up different pokes could potentially pick you up. You have to... I think I'm disconnected.
Okay, hold on just a second to talk about.
Where did, okay. Yeah, that's another thing is, Steve has so many fast moves. Everything recovers fast, like we were saying about the whiff and everything.
Yeah.
He can just constantly throw out different moves that could potentially pick you up and everything and try to, I don't know. You have to be really careful when you're getting up against Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because his overall safety is kind of a big thing with him, because he does have certain moves that are like you mentioned earlier, Sonic Bang is more punishable now. It's a lot like Death Fist. Everybody and their mother can punish it now because they recognized how fucking good it was. But
yeah, and his forward 4-2.
His forward 4-2 is more punishable. But I mean, outside of that, most of 90% of the moves that you're going to see Steve players use are really safe. And kind of like Nina, he recovers so fast. It's really hard to punish him if he whiffs something.
Ooh.
Go ahead. You sound like excited.
Another flaw to Steve, I guess, is outside of mid-range, I mean, you don't have to worry so much about the mids, because the moves that he would have to use typically are either too slow or, they are the punishable moves. So if you can kind of stay, like, mid-range to a little bit farther away, I mean, you can just start assaulting him with, like, your generic low or whatever, and you're going to go under the moves that matter, and you're going to force him to, lock up a little bit. And I think that's one of the reasons Steve players have to turtle a little bit.
Yeah, because they can't. It's really hard to get in really quick.
My suggested range there would be just past his down forward 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that all the time, and a good Steve player will fuck with that spacing on you, but it's actually kind of an abusable strategy against him, is just throwing out high crushes and stuff.
You know
like
what?
that
I'm so glad.
Outside there.
So glad you brought that up, because as an Armor King player, that's typically my strategy when I play against Steve. I'm going to just kind of space you out, and I'm going to do back ones, and just hope that one of them hits counter hit. I'll take half your life, and then we'll start over again. And for a safe 12...
It's how he gets slowed down.
Yeah, because, once he's sitting at that 2 range, he doesn't really have a lot of options. So as long as you're being safe with whatever your high crush is, especially if, you're a character like Armor King who can just throw out a high or, counter hit option or whatever. I mean, you said high crush, right? But, I mean, back 1, at least Armor King's back 1 is essentially a high crush.
Yeah, it's the same as throwing out like a Magic 4 from outside of his range.
Yeah, and if you're playing a character with a Magic 4, I mean, you can pretty much just sit there at range 2 or so and just spam Magic.
Magic 4 is the scrub killer.
It is. It hurts a lot. But, so yeah, I would agree with that. I would say, yeah, he does have a little bit of a distance issue. More than that. Okay, so we talked about his lows, his safety, his general Oki. So the one thing that I am curious about, just kind of your opinion on this, but his panic buttons. Does he have any other than back 1?
His panic buttons are just sick. He is just crippling with them. I mean, they're not as good as they used to be. I mean, the sways. It's really about the sways in my book. For you want to get out of trouble, get out of jail free, just hit the button, look for a whiff. You can sway with like 4 and then look for a big whiff and then shift from right weave to duck and go for a launch. And like if someone's trying to space you out or whatever, they're going to see the weave and you could just throw that out as like a bait. Wait for them to try to say Armor King back 1 you from long range or somebody to Magic 4 and suddenly you can go into duck and go for a launch or something.
Nice.
I mean his panic buttons are solid. He's got some what is it, down back? It's not down back 2, it's up back 2, back 2,
Which
and he
move?
kind of ducks. He like It's a new counter hit launcher that he has.
Oh
I believe it's
yes,
back
yes.
to-
I'm pretty sure it's back to
shit,
yeah.
That shit's disgusting.
Yep. Back to is pretty fucking nasty. That's absolutely for sure. And yeah, and if you're playing against a Steve, I mean, it's especially if you're playing with a character that kind of has even a little bit of an issue with tracking. You have to be careful about those sways. Those sways can get so nasty, and just like anything that he has, if he hits you with anything out of those sways, or the sway to duck or whatever, you're going to eat a lot of damage. And that's, I mean, I would say that like his general damage, I mean, just overall, he hits you so hard, he just ends rounds really, really quickly. And so you have to play patient with him. I mean, there's no other way really to work it. He's really hard to rush down because of his, his panic buttons that you were talking about, because of his
You just have to
counter
play
hit.
cool.
Yeah.
Play cool, man.
Don't get
That girl
rattled.
ain't gonna sleep with you on the first day.
Absolutely, you got to take her out to Hardee's a couple times before.
You got to flirt with her. Don't just run into her punches.
Yeah, and
That shit ain't gonna do it for you.
that's where he gets a lot of his damage too. It's just people running into shit, and it can get really frustrating too. I mean, if you're playing, especially if you have somebody who's a Steve player and you play against them all the time, I mean, and you're losing.
You got to sweet talk him from far away.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to bait a little bit and get some counter hit juice of your own. Make him come to you. That's really the overall strategy if you're playing against Steve.
He was a girl.
Yeah, exactly. Our metaphor, the date night. Date night with Steve. And just butter him up and then straight to Plowtown. That's how we work. All right, well, wow. Like, I feel like we should have a lot more to talk about, because we've touched on a lot of it already, but we haven't really burned through a whole lot of time. So can you think of anything else like to add with Steve? Because we got his punishers.
Steve is just a really boring character. He usually, I mean, like, because of his, juggles, not like starting with a normal hitting move most of the time, etc. He's going to grind you away with those pokes. That's really what it is. I mean, you're going to eat the lows, and sure, Scott said, it's only 10 damage, but that shit adds up.
Yeah,
Playing against Steve is a ticking clock.
I actually think it's more like 15 or so, but still, I mean, yeah, it's
whatever it is, it's a ticking clock. That shit is going to hit you. It's going to add up really fast. So what you got to do is you got to, figure out your openings.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't trained against a Steve before you go to a tournament, put that shit on your to-do list.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially all the fucking Steves that you're going to see.
Take that puppy out of the tub. Wash him later. You've got shit to learn.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of, he controls frames very well. So, I mean, if you go into a match, an important match, something that matters, a tournament match, you need to know what's plus and minus, because with such a counter hit heavy character as he is, you have to know when you are negative. And, he's going to chip away at you with those pokes and all that other stuff, and you need to know when to block and when not to.
And when to get up off the ground. That, again, I can't stress that one. That's key. He gets a lot of damage out of that without having to give up,
Completely safe options. You just throw something out, and either you're going to get away and you have to waste time getting up, or he's going to launch you or bound you or whatever. So, yeah, no, I absolutely agree that, I mean, he pretty much just gets the free to get out of, like you said, get out of jail free card just to throw shit out when you're on the ground, and there's really nothing you can do about it. I mean, you just have to sit there and wait and then roll away.
You don't expect to be able to whiff punish him all the time. You're probably going to have to go for, like, mix-ups on whiffs a lot of the time.
Yeah, and when I first, started encountering Steve in 6.0, or not 6.0, but just in 6 in general, the forward 2 Oki option that he has, I mean, that alone is really, really hard, and I used to eat that a lot because you'd think that he was done or whatever, and you try to wake up kick or do something silly and just stand up and try to get on the offensive or whatever. But that thing hits really low and really late, so
that shit will hit you if you're rolling on the ground.
Yeah,
even.
And I ate a lot of bounds because of that. So I mean, it's very important to practice how to get up. And I mean, I guess that's just a general piece of advice for Tekken. I learn how to get up because it's a really big part of this game, especially with all the.
He's probably one of the best characters for wake up games that doesn't have like the ogre Kunimitsu unblockable. Seriously.
Yeah, and that shit was the dirtiest. Okay, well, wow. Okay, that's all I have for him. Anything else that you wanted to throw in there, or?
Who would you say is Steve's probable best matchup?
Best matchup, like against or for?
Well, let's do both.
Okay.
Shine that shit on me.
Shine it on you. Okay. So I would say he is best. Okay, so I have to stay away from low tier characters.
This is your opinion. So whatever the fucking scrubs want to say, well, post it up because I would love to see that shit.
I personally, my personal number one in T6 is Fang. And one of the reasons I think Fang is so good is because he has the really scrubby, stupid back one shit. Then back one, for whatever reason, just stops everything. I mean, who knows why?
You need to stop running into that move.
What?
I think you need to stop running into that move.
Well, okay. I mean, you can say what you want, but I mean, Steve...
I know, and that's why I'm doing it.
But Steve is, I mean, in order to beat a Steve, we just said you have to play patient.
Right.
And Fang is, in my opinion, he's the best turtle in the game. Like, he's just so, like, he has so many tools.
Bold statement.
Yeah, it is a bold statement, and we'll get there when we start talking about Fang. We will get there. But when the tools he has to break turtles is ridiculous. So if you're playing against a Steve and he's doing, I mean, if you're playing Steve, obviously you want them to come to you. So if Fang is doing that, God, he does the exact same thing that Steve does, but better, except he has better options. Because he has better lows. He has stupid sidestep 4. I mean, granted, Steve doesn't have a tracking issue, but I mean, still, when
sidestep 4 is good against Steve. Yeah. That is a fact.
And
or at least as good as it is against any character.
Yeah, and it high crushes. I mean, that move is just retarded. And if for whatever reason you just switch gears real quick and you go into defense mode against the Steve, I mean, there's not a lot the Steve player can do about it. And I mean, that Fang.
He has to get in for down back 3-2. That's his most important turtle killer.
And I mean, Fang is just so good at spacing. I mean, he has the back 4. He has that stupid was it a back 2 or whatever. That fucking move is retarded. Down forward 1. He has the back 1 to keep you out. And I know it's punishable and everything, but still, I mean, it recovers incredibly quick. So really,
yeah, that move's a good bait.
Yeah, and even though he has reverses, he also has his parry. What is it? I have to look up.
We have to mention the Steve Parry too.
Oh yes, Steve Parry is very rough.
He can bound off it now. Beware, kids.
Yeah, his parry is really, really, really good. And so yeah, if you have a kick heavy character, you'll be all right. I mean, you don't have to worry about it nearly as much. But most characters rely on jabs, and that's a jab fucking killer for sure.
All right, and what's the other side of the spectrum?
Okay, the other side of the spectrum. Let me see. I mean, he's so strong against so many characters out there. You probably. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know because there's a lot of at least.
I'm sure that one matters a whole lot less.
Yeah,
so
because
we don't really need that one.
Nobody's
going to quit a character because they're.
That's a good question though. Now you got me wondering. It's like of all the characters that Steve beats down, who does he beat down the worst? Who is that
Steve's bitch?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. You want to hear my answer on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It is definitely Dragunov. Dragunov raped Steve.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Wow. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. He plays such a spacing game.
Ugh. He keeps him at the range that Steve might be the weakest. His lows are safer against Steve than most characters. He's counter hit strong. That 1-2-1. I mean, that's risk versus reward right there. Being able to hit confirm that against anyone, but Steve, it's just rape. He doesn't have the magic 4, but he doesn't need it.
Yeah. But he's not in your.
At least
you're,
you can Steve.
you're top 5 or whatever, so that's okay. So he doesn't need a Magic 4. he's not bringing it. But, you know,
He's not out of class.
he'll have a Magic 4 in Tag 2, just watch. But
he actually had it in the first part of Tekken 6. But we'll get to Dragunov later.
Oh, we will. Yes, we will get to Dragunov. All right, so now that we've talked about best and worst matchups, since you threw that question out, so let's talk about tier. A lot of players put him at number 1, and I know in Korea a lot of Koreans say he's number 1. So what are your thoughts on that? I think he's like my number 4 or 5. I would.
There's a reason Korea isn't a state yet, and it's probably because they think Steve is number 1. But you know, I already put him below Law, so he is actually my number 2.
Really? I thought I must have.
Number 3. You're right. Nina.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought Nina was your number 2, but. Okay. All right. So overall, he's he gets worked by Nina and Law. Is that what I'm hearing?
He gets worked by Nina and Law, and he's tied with Bruce.
Tied with Bruce, right?
For my pick.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I would say he's for sure top 5. I mean, he has so many tools, and he just hits you so hard. It's hard not to put him up there.
He's so solid at spacing.
Yeah, I would be. I'd put him at a 4 or so as well. So cool. So that okay.
Who's your number 3? The Law. You've got.
Yeah, I got Law at number 3.
Fang, mystery character.
No, my number 2 matches up with yours. I think Nina is number 2 as well. And then I have.
Did you just say that we matched up on the same ranking of one character?
Yes, of one character, and we got that.
I think I took extends right before you said that.
Now you're popping one. It's bumping in your desktop. Oh wow! I like that. Okay, so you're starting to get a soundboard going on.
That was actually Michael Winslow, but right now that's all he can do right now.
Hilarious. I like. Oh, I love it.
I just blew a pant load over that.
All right, so okay, for all you kiddies out there, that is going to wrap up our Steve discussion.
If you'd like to hear more on Steve, fuck off, because he's not that interesting.
Yeah, there you go. That's the summary. Not that interesting a character, but he's very effective at being not interesting. So that's the end of that. If you don't want to hear any of our random garbage talk, you can turn off your music player now.
Be less cool.
Yeah, and be extremely less cool. Otherwise, we're going to just start talking about some random shit now.
Don't be a dick, take extends.
Yeah. No. I think you got
be a dick.
Exactly. Be a dick, take extends. Okay,
that
so we mentioned, I think it was this earlier in this podcast that we mentioned the balance thing, and I did want to ask you about the balance, because T6 is widely considered like one of the best balanced games ever. I mean, yeah. I mean, compared to a lot of other things, because there are if you look at the...
I didn't know other games. I just thought maybe amongst Tekkens, but all games?
Well, for sure, yeah, because, if you look at, like, the 2Ds, I don't know everything about 2Ds, but I do know that, like, in all the Street Fighters, you just have a small handful of characters that can compete, and in Marvel...
I'm sorry, 2D kids, don't be 2D fruity.
Yeah, don't hate us for hating on 2Ds, but in Marvel, that's not even a contest. What, 5-6 characters out of the fucking 60 plus?
and what appears to be even worse than Marvel 3.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I am playing Marvel 3, and that game.
I love you anyway.
Yeah, and that game is the most busted shit ever. It is retardedly busted. However, that being said, all you have to do is really have one top tier character on your team, and it makes everybody else better. Like, especially if that top tier character has a top tier assist. That's really all you need. And every character...
What we're saying here, kids,
every character is busted.
Is play Sentinel.
Yeah, play Sentinel.
Put him on your team.
Put him on your team. If you're looking to win, unless you're Justin Wong, you need to play Sentinel. It's that simple. But
play Sentinel, and suddenly you will be allowed to play with whatever Lego fucking character, stick, action figure, whatever the fuck else is in that game.
So I guess, in Marvel, in relative terms, I guess you could say it's balanced because everybody plays Sentinel. So, all of their teams are good. But
until they add Proto Man.
Yeah, until they add Proto Man. And then you're going to hear some whistle.
You hear us, Capcom? You hear us?
Yes, we want Proto Man. But anyway, so now we're doing our whistles. But, I mean, if you look at Marvel 3 and you take each character individually, there's
Right.
only a couple characters that are really, like, busted. Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Bless you.
so you look at all the 2Ds, and I think maybe, like, Arcana Heart or something is, I don't know. But I know that 2Ds have the same sort of issue that Tekken does. But if you look at all across the 2Ds and all across the 3Ds, Tekken is up there among the most balanced games. But I was listening. I mean, we talked about this in the Law podcast from the same Avoiding the Puddle episode I was listening to with Brad Chin. They were talking about balance, and I mean, it was a really important question because, you know, when they were talking about and I hate to keep pulling from that podcast, but it had a lot of interesting questions for me.
And basically, we like you guys.
Yeah.
And here on ours.
But like they were talking about Tekken Tag, and, you know, Eris kept asking, you know, why did you guys like that so much more than, you know, current games and blah blah blah. And Brad said something that I thought was really hilarious for one, but really funny. He was like, balance really is shit. I mean, it was like it's good and everything to have balance, and, you know, T6 is a good game and all this other garbage, but having unbalanced games is awesome. So
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an opposing force. It gives you it's like a force of nature that you're competing against rather than, you know, just a player's mind sometimes.
Yeah. And like, I just want to, I guess, throw that question out there. Is balance important? How important is it?
Well,
Like,
if you want the better game, you have to go with balance. That's just, you know,
And that's-
common knowledge. If you have two equally important guys or whatever, or intelligent guys, I mean, the better game is going to be the one where there's balance. But there is something to his statement. I'm definitely not arguing that completely. And I'm going to pull from the better Tekken, for my money, Tekken 4.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh,
You know what? I'm just going to
That's
tell
me.
you right now, get your finger ready, because you're going to have to delete a lot of PMs from your message box after this podcast.
I'm just not going in that. Okay, well, anyways, what I'm getting at is when you have a force of nature like, you know, a character imbalance, we're not talking about anyone specifically, nobody with a Just Brand laser scraper or any shit like that, but you have people out there who will build their entire game against beating that one character, and it actually makes it really hard for that character that like to use their abusable shit, because these top tier characters usually end up becoming super broken because they have something that they have to rely on. They have a crutch, stuff like that. So it actually, I don't know, it opens up the mind of the player that is trying to find ways around it. So in that way,
See, I would agree with that.
You know, a training dummy for, you know, playing a real fighting game.
You know, I would agree with that to a point,
Yeah.
because I do agree that it would open up the mind of the player who's trying to play against it, because you have to get really creative to get around the busted shit. However, I do think, well, yeah, but I do think it limits, I mean, a game in a sense, because you have all these players playing that busted shit, and it doesn't take a whole lot to do. And more importantly, that's all you're going to see. So, I mean, you may have these characters that are these players that are just focusing on getting around that shit, but...
No, I completely understand what you're saying, but again, to pull from the better Tekken, sorry, noobs, the way that it even helped, like, because they're finding, like, creative ways to deal with Laser Scraper, some people are just pinning Jin down with jabs, because Jin was the worst character for dealing with jabs, or, you know, they're finding partial Laser Scraper escapes, stuff like that. It actually, it motivated the Jin players also that were trying to, you know, get their cheap wins or whatever the fuck they were trying to do, into actually becoming better players too. They had to get better at timing their while standing twos, and then for like partial Laser Scraper escapes, it's ridiculous. People would do their Laser Scraper escape, right? And instead of getting launched, they would get floated, so that they would receive way less damage, like 13 damage versus an entire fucking combo. So what's happening is these Jin players actually found ways to get small float combos off of those. It was the most creative shit I had ever seen. So they're going into, they have to know, you know, okay, this guy's going to do a partial escape, so now they're doing the faster scraper, and then they have their little mini bitch combo that they have to get going too. So there are creative strategies there too. I think it does promote creativity all around, but it's not going to be the better game.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I guess that's what I was ultimately getting at, or asking for, because Brad actually kind of said the exact opposite. I mean, he was I don't want to like put words into his mouth, but I mean, he said that one of the reasons that tag, thank you, that tag was so fun for them and such a good game is because you had these busted ass characters. And
oh no, that's what I'm saying is, I mean, it makes it fun.
Well, I know, but like at least, I mean, I certainly could have gotten the wrong impression or interpretation of what he was saying, but it almost felt like he was saying that the busted shit was the better game. And I think ultimately, at least my opinion on thing, it all depends on what you like to do. Because, for example, I play Tekken 6 or Caliber, whatever, those sorts of games because and I should specify Caliber 2, but I play those kinds of games because they are more balanced, and I like balance in a fighting game. I think it's one of the things that makes a good fighting game. But at the same time, Marvel 3 is ridiculous. That game is so stupid. It's beyond stupid, but I enjoy playing it. I mean, it pisses me off just as much as any other game, but I don't know, like, it has a place, and I guess it all depends on, like, what you think is more fun or what's more practical.
I can totally see how Marvel is a fun game. I think that, some of these really busted games, they're going to be more fun, but they're not going to be as good as, an even chess set against an even chess set.
Fair enough. And, yeah, well, I think, like I was saying, like, it depends on what you're going for, because What kind of is weird to me is whenever you like listen to podcasts or interviews or you're looking on the boards or whatever, everybody's always trashing certain games specifically because they're unbalanced. And I think like people need to have a more open mind about that sort of thing. Like just because it's unbalanced doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game. Sure, you're going to have characters that are really busted and broken and everything, but I mean, you have to think that balance is the end-all, be-all when it comes to a game being good in order, for
if the game is solid enough, like Tekken Tag or, My Tekken, whatever, you're going to have these same players, trying to pick these characters for their cheap wins, and it's actually going to take a pretty intelligent player to be able to do that cheap shit against, a smarter player and still get the win.
Well, okay, so I guess...
So I'm saying, like, those busted games, like, say, MVC or whatever, say they just want to abuse the stupid shit. I mean, they definitely... they're good games, and I see what they're saying and everything. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I guess the reason that I brought it up, and it sounds like we're kind of coming to a consensus on this, is that, I mean, you have to have the broken games out there. I mean, balance is important if you're looking for like fair play, but overall, you have to have broken games out there. I think you just do. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to play them, but I think they're very, very important to the scene, and like especially
they are, and you can find ways to compete in those busted games. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say there.
And it's really funny. Like if you look at all the games that are unbalanced, those imbalances, like. Those kinds of games, for whatever reason, have always been the most popular. I mean, you look at Marvel. Marvel's huge, and Tekken Tag, which was one of the most unbalanced games in the Tekken series. I mean, everybody played that fucking game. I mean, there wasn't anybody who...
Well, it's because guys walk in and they think that they have an advantage just because they play their top-tier fucking character or whatever. And then you have the other force, people who don't want to play that, and they want to beat these morons, stuff like that.
Oh, that's the main reason I stopped playing Law in T6, is because he just got, I mean, to me, he has a lot of stuff, but, I mean, he, like you said with Steve, I think at least his progression as a character over time, he's gotten kind of boring now, so I switched to a mid-tier character, and it's like, okay, we're going to see what we can do.
That's why I quit playing Steve. I mean, I was doing really well with him, but... It wasn't there was nothing really forcing me to be a better player because I had to rely on some crutch stuff, and
Yeah, and that's the same reason I switched to Armor King too. And I mean, you have to, and it makes you a better defensive player. Like the first week that I played Armor King, I was playing our buddy Omac, Cecil, and I don't know if I mean, he plays Yoshi, but I think that, like, he was playing a lot of, like, Fang and Elisa and all that other stuff. And, I mean, even when I branched out and started playing you guys or whatever, went to Chicago, whatever, and tested out some Armor King.
Whatever.
Yeah, or whatever, whoever we're playing. I mean, you're seeing all these characters, and you don't have something that you can just mash out that will beat everything. So you actually have to start looking for animations. You have to start remembering how negative something is and what your punishers are. And I don't know.
That's one reason I like BR so much is actually there are so many characters that there's more moves that can slip between the cracks, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Good. Well, that was an excellent conversation piece. I'm glad we got to talk about that. Okay, so last section, as promised in our first podcast, we're going to do sound off. So we don't have any guests this time yet.
Are you taking this one?
I guess it's up to you. If you have something else you want to talk about that you.
Well, you know what? Hold on. Let's paper, scissors, rock for it. I got rock. What do you got?
I got scissors.
I guess I'm going again.
Oh, you're going. No, it doesn't really matter to me. I just figure, I don't know. You're way better at rants than I am. Although if you want me to,
I'm fucking bitchy. That's all.
If you want me to take the torch, I'm more than happy.
Well, let's hear the question first.
The question is really simple. It's the same every time we do this segment. It's going to be what pisses you off. That's simple. So.
Do you have some? Do you have a pressing anger?
No. I have lots of gripes, but nothing that's like so pressing that I absolutely need to get it off my chest.
All right, give me a sec here. Actually, and because I had one a little while ago that I was thinking of, so we'll have to delete this part out of the thing. But I did have
delete anything. I like you thinking. I want them to know that we're thinking, that we're
the wheels are turning.
Yes, that we know what we're doing, sort of. At least we're keeping it sexy. That's really all that matters. The sexiest podcast out there.
Sexiest podcast.
And once you think of it, I am going to time you this time. I will buzz you when we hit 60 seconds.
You can do that. I forgot. I'm thinking with my pants on. So. Hold on.
Yeah, got to take those off.
It's part of the.
You know what? That should be a tradition. Whether or not you do.
It's my tradition at least.
Whether you do the sound off part or not, you need to take your pants off.
Okay. We'll have a better ratio because I don't think our guest hosts are going to do it. All right. I had something.
All right. Well, since you.
Okay, if you got something, roll with it.
So I'll do one. That's fine. You did the last one, so I guess it's only fair that I do this next one. Okay. So if you do think of something for next time, definitely write it down. But all right. So I'll take up the mantle this time, and we'll go with it. So contrary to what most people out there are thinking, you need to support sponsors. I know people are going to hate me for saying this and everything, but sponsorship support is important to the scene. And we said this earlier.
Who wouldn't want to get paid?
Yeah,
come on.
Exactly. And that's exactly what you need to ask yourself. Do you want to get paid? And I mean, I personally think that the sponsorship support we have out there right now, the fact that sponsors only pay plane tickets, that's bullshit. I mean, it's cool and everything that you are getting paid to play games, for somebody to fly you out there and play the game. That's all fine and dandy. It's, free vacation, whatever. But seriously, I mean, there is such a small handful of players out there getting paid. As a professional video game player, fighting game player, you should get paid. It's just the way it goes. If you are good, you should get paid. And not just from winning tournaments, but because there's a lot of good players out there.
I want to see some kind of jersey or some bullshit.
Yeah, I want to see some good shit. And
I've got fucking heroes. I've got so many fucking heroes. And I feel like everyone, should have the option of
wearing their heroes jersey. That's what I want. Yeah. I want to buy my players merch. That's what I want to do. But
I want me a Bronson fucking T-shirt.
Yeah, and this is going to go
holding the can of whoop ass.
Go outside the 60 seconds, obviously, that we usually have for the sound off. However, the big counter argument out there, and I feel like I should expand on this, is that people like some old schoolers especially, but people who like, the bullshit, the shit talk, and all this other stuff, they have this fear that you get sponsors involved and all of that goes away. It does not go away because sponsors are there, people. It goes away.
I think it'll be harder.
Yeah, it goes away because loud people are going away. It's not going away because sponsors are suddenly coming into the scene. No, all of our loud, big talk people are leaving the scene, and that's why we don't have loud people and really, really awesome color commentary on the streams. Don't blame the sponsors. It's going to be all right. I know you love your little niche fucking community and your tournaments and stuff, but we need bigger. We need better. There's a reason you like EVO. Not because it's a 100 people tournament, but you like it because there's thousands of people there. So, okay. That's my...
I want to see people on TV. I don't want to have to, stop downloading porn or whatever.
Yeah.
So that I can watch,
Where's our video game channel? Our fighting game channel, Korea has their fucking Tekken Crash. Where's our Tekken Crash? That's what I...
Support your community.
Absolutely. Oh, yes. And this has nothing to do with the rant, but yes, support your community. Go out to your local tournaments. Stop being a bitch.
We lost arcades because people,
That's exactly why we lost arcades.
Stopped playing. They didn't want to lose 50 times so that they could get better. They wanted to wait till it came home so their whiny bitch asses could...
And really, in reality, people, arcades were not all that expensive. Sure, you drop 10, 20 bucks every now and then because you got your ass beat by a better player. But in reality, our arcade, the arcade we had, the closest arcade we had, we used to have one in town, but like when T5 and all that stuff came out, the closest arcade we had was literally 40 minutes away. So we had to drive our ass 40 minutes to this little shitty arcade. But guess what? We were bros with the dude who ran it, so after closing time, we sat there and played forever. And you can do that. You just gotta have to...
Fighting games are a social thing to do. Go out there, get off your fucking couch, quit sucking at base. quit validating to yourself that you need to get back to college or whatever. You're just taking time to think, whatever the fuck it is. Go socialize with some people, beat some fucking noobs, get carpal tunnel, have a good fucking time.
Oh, I can't stress that enough. Yeah, be a man, risk some injuries. It's what it is. We love it. I love it when somebody goes Bob Knight at a tournament and just throws the fucking folded chair. Get this shit out of here. It's fucking stupid. I love it. I love it. I love people tearing up and getting mad. That's when you know they have passion for the game.
Seriously, I am probably one of the whiny bitchest motherfuckers ever.
Oh,
but
dude, I got
I'm kind of proud.
I'm kind of I cry so much. I'm like, oh my god, that's like if you were to record me during like a 2-hour session of any game, I'd probably say you have got to be kidding me, or fucking Jesus, or all those other cliche terms. I say those at least 100 times a piece. It's bad, but that's okay. That means
something fucking matters to you. That's what.
That means you love it. That means it does matter. So, cool.
You've got the competitive blood.
That was an excellent. I like that. That was a good rant. That's made me feel better about.
You have pleased the Janet Kazama with your rant.
Yes, excellent.
Accepted your offering.
All right. Well, that's really all I have then, Dan. And if you have any parting words for the folks out there.
I love you. Thanks for listening.
There you go. Excellent. And we will leave it at that, people.
Submit your Michael Winslows.
Yes. Keep submitting those. We just want to keep reading them.
24 hours with Michael Winslow.
Absolutely.
Tell me what you would have him do.
If you have questions or concerns, you can still hit us up on the board. We do have that thread on the general discussion board, so don't...
You know what I'm looking forward to the most if I had Michael Winslow?
What's that?
I'm looking forward to like pretending I'm sleeping and hearing him snore for me.
Nice.
That is what I want.
Oh man, you know what? If that ever happens, if Extend actually sponsors us and we get some Michael Winslow love, he's coming to tournaments with us, guaranteed. We're doing that.
That would be the greatest.
It would be greatest. All right, well, it's for sure.
Just mute the TV and have him do the entire sound effects for the match.
Oh man, and you have those people who
Stonehead.
turn up the volume on the TV, and he just keeps getting louder. Oh, too good. All right, well, it has been an absolutely awesome podcast for this one, that's for sure. And we will leave you kids with that. So thanks for joining us for some Steve talk, sort of, and we'll see you next episode. Have a good one.